Welcome. This is not quite the shave video. This is actually before I hop into the shower. I was just prepping everything, and Tim Kennedy, one of my subscribers, had asked me about how I go about trimming this stuff. And yeah, I'm like, okay, I'll show you. It's basically, it's nothing fancy. I don't necessarily even think it's the right method, but it's what I do. And yeah, I have to say I did in the past have a clipper a couple of years back, and I just kind of trimmed, along, just basically shaped it freehand, just by visuals, and that kind of got my, I guess, eye trained a little bit to do all this freehand. And basically it's, yeah, I started out with a pair of scissors, then later on, at some point in time in my life, went to a pair of clippers when I could afford them, when I started making money. Because, little information, I've had this thing since I was pretty much almost 16, well, yeah, 15 and a half, something, going towards 16. So, in the early days, yeah, you had a pair of scissors. Just, whatever was available, just to kind of trim it down. I do have to admit, back in the day, it used to be a good bit longer. But now, yeah, it just kind of, it would look a mess if it just kind of, I had it fairly stout about a year and a half ago. Wife complained. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, what I'm using here is something basically I picked up at Walmart a couple of years back. Nothing fancy, just a pair of basically hair cutting scissors. This one is from Conair. It was on sale at some point in time for a couple of bucks. The one thing, I don't know if this will show up properly, it does have, is a serrated edge. That is actually something I think is very important, because a serrated edge will hold on to the hair while it's being cut, and it does not allow the hair to, just slide along the blade. And so yeah, this kind of catches it and then gives you a nice clean cut to the length that you want to do it. So yeah, the handle style is to be debated. This was in the ladies section, but and heck, it does what it needs to do, and that's all I ask of it. So yeah, let's get into it. Basically, all I do is I go around the edges and kind of get the stray ones, all the ones that are poking out, and you do want to kind of sort of fold out a little bit, ruffle through it, just kind of keep it neat, get all the a little bit lengthier ones. Like I said, just getting the overall shape. Gotta watch out that I don't hit the stash. And this is why I typically do this before I take a shower. First of all, you got the hair all over the place. And second of all, I typically have something in the stash to keep it out of the way. As you've seen on my regular videos, it tends to go down when it's freshly washed and shampooed. And it has happened that I've gotten a few hairs if I do it after the shower. So, just kind of freehanding it. And like I said, I do not take any responsibility if you chop off too much. This is just how I do it, and how I've gotten used to it. I have had professionals, barbers, friends of mine, that have said they admire that I do this freehand, because they're trained, to kind of pull the hair at a certain length and then kind of cut along that line. And I'm just going off a visual here. Like I said, I'm just kind of pulling out the lengthy ones ones that are somewhat hiding. And as you can see, there is no real method to this madness. Yeah, and that's basically how I go through the whole thing. Now I do something else, and let me just prep something. Okay, and basically what I do is, and I strongly do not recommend doing this. It has gone wrong for me, but I've gotten to the point where I get away with it. So absolutely no recommendation on doing something like this. This is just my Edwin Jagger, which I will be using later on here in the shave. A little spoiler. And all I've got in here is a blade which, well, it's basically subpar for use already. It's fourth, fifth use. It's getting a little plucky. I should get rid of it. Now, if I've gotten lazy and this thing is totally kind of it's just too voluminous and I just want to take it down in general, basically all I do is just kind of machete it. I'm not going down to the skin in any kind of way. I'm just kind of going along the contours. And slicing along. Like I said, it's fairly dangerous, but it does somewhat, just kind of take a little bit of the volume of the beard off. Like I said, maybe this will show up. I'm just strafing and sort of slowly cutting back. Now it does not work for me under here. This is where I have to get the scissors out, because just the way the hair grows, it's too dangerous that it would actually chop off too much and then go too short. So yeah. And that's basically all I do. Later on I'll probably pick up a few of the stragglers after the shower, just single hairs, just kind of picking them out once they kind of start poking out a little bit, and that's about the extent of it. As you can see, it gives a very uniform look. Every now and then, like I said, you have a little straggler there, and you just kind of trim that off with that pair of scissors, and that's all I do. As far as taking care of it, a little bit of like beard butter or something like that every now and then. I don't really like a whole lot of greasy stuff around my lips, or I don't even like chapstick. I absolutely hate that feeling. So that's about it. Yeah, every now and then, like I said, when it feels a little like strawy ish kind of stuff, I'll put something on. especially with the stash. Depending, the wax sometimes does, draw out a little bit of the moisture. I'll put some on overnight, but that's about it. Some beard butter. But as far as using beard oils or constantly, doing all that kind of stuff, no, definitely not. Yeah, like I said, I do have to trim up the shape, but I do need to go a little bit closer to the mirror because, like I said, we're not getting any younger, right? So, anyway, what I'll do now is I'll hit the shower and I'll see you in a couple of minutes for the shave, which will be a separate video. Okay, Tim, I hope this helped you to some extent. I hope you don't chop anything off too much there. It's all very kind of free-form style-ish, but it's what I've gotten used to over 25 years now of having this growth. And this is annoying because there we go. I can get really OCD on this. There we go. Just so the general shape is there. As you can see, I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away. Way too long. Guys, like I said, hope it was helpful. Please do not repeat unless you know what you're getting yourself into. I'm taking no responsibility whatsoever for too much chopped off beard growth. Terribly sorry. Okay? Alright, have a good one. Later. Bye.